Yo, what's up guys, Draconia here with another Dragon Ball Legends video. Today I'm gonna do my Dragon Ball Legends top 10 tier list for the middle of October. I'm recording this on the 16th, so not that long since the purple Ultra Zamasu drop, but I think I already can make my opinion at this point. But maybe in a few days, maybe something can change, like a new team I didn't see before, but I think I've got my opinion about this for, I would say, 98%, and for me that's good enough to record this today. Yeah, as always, I don't own every single character on this list, so there might be some units who will place higher or lower because you have better experience with them, using them, or fight them more. But yeah, let's get started with the number 10 spot, which is Super Vegito. I think with the two major things that changed for this game, which is Ultra Zamasu and the LF Red Zamasu plat equipment. He's kind of in a neutral position, like he's very good defensively against the Ultra Zamasu, and he is also, I would say, okay against the Red Zamasu since he is type neutral for 10 timer count. And I've used him recently. I would say his defense is still solid, and with also lowering the sub counts even when your allies get hit, especially when you pair him, for example, with Red Zamasu. I think he works fine. He's not super great, but I wouldn't call him bad either. I think he can survive in the meta right now, and this is why it's number 10. You could technically run a Fusion Warrior team with him and Leader slot, and then these two, or yeah, I think right there, yeah, do these two, and then him leader, and then you have the Fusion Warrior bench team-ish, Fusion Warrior slash feature. I think that works. It's not the best team, but it's, I would say, a runnable team that you could do. So yeah, that's why I have him on number 10. I will talk maybe later about some other units that didn't make a top 10, but for me, he made, like, he's in the best position out of all the units I've thought about the number 10 spot, so yeah. Vegeta at number 10, moving to number 9, I have GT Spirit Bomb Goku. Didn't change much for him, I would say. I think he's one of the, if not the best counter against the Red Zamasu, because he has no way of getting type neutral defensively. And he's basically one of the two blue units. I mean, he's also a good one. Not gonna say he isn't, like, Android 14 is also very good, but I think if you have a 14 stars GT Spirit Bomb Goku defensively, he's like very good. I think GT is still a good team, although I don't see it as often. This is also the reason why I put it down. I don't think he has any, I would say, disadvantage or advantage against the new units in the meta. Like, advantage against the Red Zamasu, but against him, the purple one, just nothing really, not differently than other units who hit him hard. That's what I'm thinking. But he has to go down since other units got into the list, and I think maybe I did it like 7 and 8, and now he's 9 because we got two other units who I would say are definitely better than him. And yeah, GT Spirit Bomb Goku makes the number 9 for me. I still think he's fine, and yeah, nothing much to say about him. Again, I think GT is still alright. Wouldn't call it the second best team necessarily, because I think powerful opponent can be, especially because at the start against Android 13 you have two Gokus on the GT team, and also Majub as the supporter. This could be annoying against the team since it's heavy blast center focused, so it hurts them a bit, but I think they're fine. So again, GT Spirit Bomb Goku at number 9, and then at number 8 I have GT Super Saiyan 3 Goku. Now, obviously, because he's like not the most tanky unit ever, these two units can hit him quite hard. But I think in terms of how good he is compared to last time, it's basically the same as GT Super Saiyan. So not Super Saiyan 3, GT Spirit Bomb Goku. Nothing really changes much for them. Like he's not type advantage against any of these two or disadvantage, so nothing really changing there. But the one thing I'm giving this Goku very positive is his main ability can be very, very good against his auto counter ability. Because if he's not on the battlefield and you have like 5 Dragon Balls and you drop combo main ability with this guy from close range and then rush, basically this auto counter can't activate. Like the buff removal will happen, but if you're switching then into this guy, it doesn't count as a counter because you switch in the middle. Like you have to basically stand still or get comboed when you get hit with the auto counter. So same as Beast Gorn. If you would drop combo rush, Beast Gorn's auto counter shouldn't be able to work as far as I know. But only if he's not on the battlefield already. Like if he's on standby, he's loading the subcons by 10, you're switching like in the last second, that it's not working. So this is he has a good way of bypassing this, and then later on you now have a better way to use Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta's ult, Spirit Bomb Goku's ultimate. So this is very strong for this guy. Other than that, nothing really more positive or negative than last time. Maybe that Red Zamasu can tear him apart in this Zamasu as well, but that's about it. But I think in terms of relevancy, he's still one of the better ones in the game, so yeah. Having it number 8, moving on to number 7. Now this is maybe something people not may necessarily agree to, but this is my opinion. I have Namek Goku at number 7. For a few reasons. Like, yes, he's good against the purple Zamasu, depending on some situations. But for one, most of the best team for purple Zamasu is with Android 13, and they all have anti-lock-in abilities. So Namek Goku locking this guy in, there are not many options he can do other than using strike cards and blast cards, I think. Can't rush because the rush gets healed. Can't use a blue and main ability as well, so like there's really nothing Namek Goku can do much about it when he locks this guy in. As well as, I think still Cooler is one of the very good characters against this guy. And Red Zamasu as well tears this guy apart and also wars this character off completely. So we now have 3 really strong Reds in the game. I also think that the powerful opponent team is a really good counter team against the triple ultra setup. So at this point for me, I think he's the weakest out of the 3 from the triple ultra team back then, and the easiest to kill. Like, one wrong move when he uses a blue card, that could straight up one-shot him if you're not careful. Especially the ultimate as well. The ultimate being an AoE, by the way, if you're hitting this guy with the ultimate, bro, your team is cooked. Like, so I think last time I had it at number 4, but with another red unit and how the meta is, I think I would put him at number 7 at this point. Doesn't mean that he's useless or anything. He's still an annoying unit with his feint. In fact, his feint is probably one of the strongest things against this guy, because if he feints this guy with a blue, or anyone on the enemy team with a blue card, you can just ultimate, you could just rush, and the auto counter doesn't work. So, although I'm not sure if this works if he is in the battlefield already, I know for a fact if he's on standby and someone gets feinted, he can't do anything about it, and you're not gonna switch this guy in to prevent the feint. I don't think you would do that. So, unless you really have to. So, but yeah, again, Namek Goku is still a good unit, but I think there are enough red units to counter him. Technically, Kaioken Goku still exists as well if you ever see him. So 4 red units. I can't have him that high up anymore. So yeah, I will Namek Goku at number 7. Moving on to 5/6. Although I mean, this is my thing of, you could change this, but I think I have a clear order on this. So I have Red Cooler at number 6 and I have Red Zamasu at number 5. Red Cooler still very good with his sub count increases, especially against Goku, and also against Super Saiyan 3 Goku. Like, I had a lot of situations where my Super Saiyan 3 Goku gets crushed by this Cooler because of the sub count increase within the damage he does. So also good against the Gammas. This is why the Gammas are not on the 10 spot, for example. But his sub count increase can also be very useful against this powerful opponent team. I think the two powerful opponent setups you're running are either these two and Cooler, or with Red Zamasu instead of Cooler. This is why they are kind of in this position here. And Red Cooler, the nice thing is, let's just say you're switching out of this guy into Android 13, and you're switching into Cooler using one strike and you're rushing. This guy can't switch it, because his sub counts will be by 12 to 13, and then lowered by 10, he will barely not make it. So he has a good way of helping you to get a rush in against this powerful opponent team, as well as giving you some moments, maybe when he's like half-life, anything, to just come in, do a lot of damage, like 3 strike cards in, and maybe try to kill this guy, so that you can start rushing using your ultimate. So this is a positive thing for Cooler. He has a good team where it can be ran now. Although I would say he is, for me, the inferior red strike character on the team, so this is why I have him at 6. I can understand if you want to swap this, but I personally think I have Red Zamasu over him. Yeah, speaking of Red Zamasu, back then when the Fusion campaign, I would say, was there and these two released and we got the Red Vegeta pad, I said it should have been him. Because he, with a unique equipment, would be really good in this meta, and he is. Like, definitely the hardest hitting red unit in a game, and also not the hardest hitting red unit, I mean, Vegeta's still there, but the hard hitting strike character in the game. Like, when it comes to strike damage, he's far superior than Vegeta. I think he's the most hard hitting red strike character when it comes to strike damage, as well as having really solid defenses to help his defensive gauge. And this guy just heals and when he gets green cards, bro, killing this guy is hard. Killing this guy is extremely hard. This guy, with the green card, and if you finish a combo, bro, almost back to full health, destroying Dragon Balls, sealing your rushes and your main, and destroying 2 cards of defensive gauge, getting Vanish back with his green card, like, he is really good. And I honestly thought about putting him at number 3. Like, that's how good I think he feels to me. And also, one of the very strong points he has with his strike cards, he's lowering health restoration. This makes him very good against himself, for example, but also, for example, a unit like Kaioken Goku will barely heal with his unique gauge. And this applies also to units like this Super Saiyan 3 Goku or this GG Spirit Bone Goku. Like, every unit that's reliant on restoring health or maybe switch out and everything, this guy will just come in and prevent all that. And especially against, for example, this guy and this guy with the endurance, if you're building up enough minus health restoration, they will barely heal on their endurance. So he's really strong, his ultimate hits really hard, the Vanish Restore, like all this stuff that he has on top of that with the team he's on. Yeah, I might just, like, really everything, I don't see a negative in it. Like, the only negative I can think about is that he doesn't have type neutral at all, like offensively. But other than that, bro, he's like, I was thinking about him putting number 3. Like, that's how good I think he is, but I still think the other two might be better that I think about, although I would think you could put him even at number 4 over the next character we're gonna talk about, maybe, because I think he's that good. I really think, like, you have to think about this as well. He is from a time period where units were doing a lot of things. Like, he's for me, he's like Kaioken in a sense at this point, but with the better defense right now and hitting harder and doing a lot more than this guy does. So yeah, he's like a better Kaioken, honestly. So yeah, him at number 5. I can think about putting it at number 4. Maybe I will do this later on the list the more I think about it. We'll see. But speak at number 4. Don't know if people will agree with this as well, but I have Ultra Frieza at number 4. Now, hear me out. I'm not saying that he's bad now. I don't think Ultra Zamasu destroys him to the level where he's like unusable or anything. He's hurting him. At this point we have 2 purples that hurt this guy, but main reason I put him at number 4 is number 1. I think that would say he's better than Ultra Frieza is, so that's already moving in a spot, and I also think another unit is better than him. Like it's mostly the fact that I think the other units are better than him that I'm gonna put over him right there, and that he gets hurt by another purple unit. I think these are the only 2 reasons. I think he's still good when it comes to damage. His Death Beam is good against bypassing. It hits his defensive unique gauge. But to be honest, I faced some freezers with this guy. He's pretty good at healing this off very fast and not worry about his thing. But this is why I said you could change this, and you know what? I'm gonna switch this. I'm gonna even switch this. I don't care. I'm gonna put him at number 4, putting at number 5. Red Zamasu feels that good to me. I'm sorry. I've used Frieza in the last 2 days as well. When I'm facing a Red Zamasu, he's not like, he's a war, bro. I don't know. I still think Frieza is good, but I just think other units right now are better. And he's not the best working right now with, for example, Purple Zamasu, because he's more blast based and he's definitely more strike based. So it's like, how do you want to do this? So yeah, regardless, his Death Beam is still annoying. I think he still has a good team of Android 13, so it's not like he's unusable. He doesn't have a team. I think he does. Although his team options are, I would say, a bit limited at this point. Well, yeah, I think he can work with powerful opponents still. So yeah, this is number 5. Before it was number 4. Yeah. If you disagree, I can understand, but again, I just, in the last 2 days, using this guy and using this guy and facing them each other and everything, Red Zamasu feels superior to me right now. So maybe I'm glazing him too hard, but yeah, that's just me. Then at number 3, I have Android 13. Now, Android 13. It's not that he's doing anything crazy offensively, but he's just that good of a support unit, and he's just that versatile of a support unit. So, and support units are probably the hardest one to rank because you don't necessarily see their value as hard, because like if you think that Android 13, you're never thinking about, man, one strike did like 50% or something like that, or he's tanking like crazy. You think about his annoying blast ceiling, then you think about the fact that he supports and heals the team. Like, those are the strong points of this guy. He's doing this job perfectly. And at this point, I'm ranking him more based on relevancy, and I would say he is pretty relevant, especially for the powerful opponent team. And even aside from powerful opponent, he is still very useful. I see people running, for example, with Namek Goku and Ultra Frieza, or for example, Super Saiyan 4 and then Ultra Frieza. Like, people use this guy heavily as their third character on the team. So yeah, I think he deserves to be in the number 3 spot. If it wasn't for the crazy support, I would even consider to switch these two. But I'm not gonna do that. I think Android 15 has a bit more worth than overall than this Zamasu does, but I think obviously Zamasu is the better individual unit. I don't think we have to. I mean, even Frieza is the better individual unit, but you know what I mean. So yeah, Android 13 at number 3. Moving on to the top 2. I have Vegeta at number 2, and then obviously Ultra Zamasu at number 1. Now, how to explain why I put this ranking sorta? For one, the best Vegeta teams are GT and the Triple Ultra setup. That's the thing. I think the Triple Ultra setup gets like countered by the powerful opponent. I think this is the best team in the game right now. I think. You have this guy to counter him, you have this guy to counter him, and this guy to counter him. So, color-wise, this team works perfectly against the Triple Ultra team. And then against GT, yeah, I just think I think that also the powerful opponent team, the fact that they have this blast ceiling with him, and as well as the ability to have Maju as a supporter to stop their their combos as well, and then the fact that Super Saiyan 3 is that squishy. I just think that makes him better. Excuse me for a second. Sorry. And I think Zamasu does great damage. I think his auto counter is like his counter against ultimates and rushes is really powerful. And GT as as I already said, only him to really bypass that potentially. And then maybe if you kill somebody before you can go for the lock-in ultimate with this guy or lock-in rush, but I just think the powerful opponent team is just better overall. Like the defense, like the damage especially, I would say is better. While Vegeta has good damage, and this guy as well, I think he does just better damage overall. And this guy as well, and together with the support especially. Yeah, I just think the team is better. I just think the team is pushing Zamasu. I don't think Zamasu himself is like that crazy to the point where he's like obviously the best, but the team he's on makes him for me the best. That's how I think about it. Similar how the GT team, when it comes to damage, pushed like Super Saiyan 4 like over the top, but I think when you look at the individual teams, I think the powerful opponent team is probably better. And it's like, for example, if you're having this GT Spirit Bomb Goku, the moment he's switching out and you're using like, for example, Red Zamasu, they're not tanking this very well. Like, and you have this guy against this guy, then him with his blast seeding everything, and at the start locking green cards against Goku's, and the blast cards, like, especially at the start, if you're leading with this guy, it's not very hard to fight against this team because these two don't have blast armor. Their blast get sealed, their blue cards get sealed, their green cards get sealed. They basically have to vanish you, so you have a big advantage at the start against GT with this team. And then, yeah, just later on, again, I still think the powerful opponent team is just that good. I think it's the best team. I don't think there is a really good counter team to it right now. And there's also no counter supporter character against this team right now, so you basically have to use Dende, or you don't have a supporter against this team. So, but also Zamasu individually, really good damage. Again, powerful auto counter. I would say also one of the very few ultras you can accept Ultra Freezer where you can actually start a battle with, because everyone else gets like their cover null on entry and you don't want to waste that. So this is, for example, a reason I wouldn't lead with this guy, because you want to have your cover null entry, and this guy has it on use, so you can start with this character. His death AoE is also pretty annoying, because not only you're doing damage, but you're getting poison, strong poison, I think strong bleeding, and the paralyze as well against everybody. And there are not that many units that are immune to it. And then his feint as well, if you're hitting that, bro, this is also a game-changing ability. Like, can win you a game sometimes. So, and he has also immunities against cost increase, which helps him again well against Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta. So, yeah, I think this is the best unit in the game right now. Not by far, but I think he's the best. So, yeah. And then lastly, this 6-7 units here. Kevlar, another Sun Purple. So she may be on the fusion team, but she's not calling the fusion warrior team. So, but while you could say, okay, she can walk with this guy, for example, green and red, but it's not really worth it because I think this guy does more damage and has the better defenses and the better colors. So it's like, yeah, Kaioken. Where do you use him? Whereas he's not really, like, again, Zamasu is like the better version of him right now. So yeah, Vegeta doesn't have the defense and the damage anymore to really compete. The Tag Force don't really have the team, although I would say their color is fine. Now this unit is very interesting. The thing is, I haven't used them yet. But from what I've seen from them, they seem more of a damage character, although they are the defense type, which is pretty weird. Like, they barely have really good defense abilities. Like, most of their abilities is like debuffing and getting damage if your allies get hit. Like, I still want to use this guy to see how well they're gonna do on the future team right now, but I need him as Zenkai 6 and I only have him as Zenkai 5, so yeah. But I think in terms of relevancy, I don't think they're gonna be higher than 10 at most. Then I have the Gammas, who, I mean, the red unit's gonna hurt them too much, so. And Androids is not really that good, I would say. I think they don't have a really solid third. And I think their best option is with Ultra Frieza and the Android 13. That's probably the best team they've got, but I think they're solid, but yeah. Too many dangerous reds for them, I would say. And then we have Kiawe, where you're like probably thinking, what's she doing here? I couldn't find the Android 21 here. That's why she's the placeholder for her. Yeah, Android 21. I did my PvP video for her on this today before I record this, so I have a pretty clear opinion about her. And it's defensively, she's not the greatest. Her ability to turn every strike into blast is not that good in the meta, especially this guy can just stop her completely, which is sad because he's the blue unit, and then you have 4 blasts on it in your hands, and everyone has blast armor for like 90% of the game. Yeah, there are not many things you can do with 4 blasts in your hand, so this is not really good, and I don't think her damage is making up for it. And her cover rescue ability, listen, you're waiting till the moment she switches out on the Android team and you rush and she has no subcom manipulation and it's useless. So I don't think she's good enough for this. Her damage is okay, but yeah, that's about it. So yeah, I don't think there's any other unit I want to discuss here. This is probably the biggest question mark for me yet, so I'm gonna put him at front here for now. Oh yeah, this is my top 10. Let me know what you guys think. Again, when it comes to changing positions here, I think the biggest one may be Fusion Zamasu here. If you think I put him too high, but I think I'm leaving the top 3 as it is. And if you want to swap these two, you can, but I personally would. Yeah. So yeah, let me know what you guys think, and see you guys in the next video.